Time to find out our final semi-finalists. In fact, it's our final quarter-final of the afternoon session, our final match of the afternoon session before we come back this evening. It is Karl Bedford, new professional for this year, up against a wildcard professional in Karl Donohue. He's joined the pro ranks this year, but comes with a huge reputation. Massive player coming over from Ireland and hit the ground running with ultimate pool. Looks very dangerous. Ahead of the action today, a lot of people, including 6 times world champion Mick Hill, had Karl Donohue as the favourite from the bottom half of the draw. But it is marginal at this level. Both players will be keen to get their match up with Jimmy Croxton in tonight's semi-final lineup. Race to 8 frames, as it has been all afternoon, as it has been all competition long. 50 minutes on that match clock. And we are underway. Karl Bedford with the first break, a cut break, and it's a successful one. Biggest stage we've seen from Karl Bedford with the pro ranks. Obviously very small sample size so far, but he's made a great start to his pro career, some big wins already. But for Karl Donohue, also in his first year, he's won a number of matches, already made a quarter-final in only a handful of tournaments, and looks very dangerous as we're into a tactical exchange here in the first frame. Mick Hill's popped out and back into the commentary box for our final match of the afternoon. I feel like every time you're in the box today, it's been drama all the way.
It'll feel worn out, actually.
You say, you've always said since Ultimate Pool began that you enjoy it in the commentary box. We love having you in here, but yeah, it can be tiring when it's when the matches are as dramatic as we've just seen. That was some match previously.
Yeah, no, it was, and you know. We talked in the commentary about the idea of, you know, experience versus youthfulness, and I suppose just in the end there it caught up, you know, on the latter. But
it was very entertaining watching Tom, though. It was very refreshing to watch. Comes with a very entertaining attitude and a big game, and obviously he's going to learn a lot as he goes through his career. But there's some real talent there.
Well, before the start of play today, I had this. Sneaky feeling for Karl, so yeah, nothing against anybody else, but you know we've got to say it as we see it and whatever else, and just got a feeling Karl might just win the tournament today, but we shall see. Plenty of pool left to be played.
I'm sure all 8 players came here with that ambition, but I think a lot of people would have had Karl touted as an ultimate pool champion at some point, and he certainly started well enough.
Well, he's hit the ground running, and since he started playing, and it's a good thing. Not only a testament to obviously he's a good player, but you know yourself, it takes people longer than others, and you know you can be fighting against it for a while, can't you? I mean, obviously we've had the situation. The very well documented Liam Dunster situation.
Yeah.
You know, where, you know, for whatever reason, obviously I'm not going to go into that, but you know, hitting the ground running in this format, you know, with a standard of competition and everything else isn't an easy thing to do. Even so, obviously for somebody of that class and quality. So in terms of Karl coming over and hitting the ground running,
I mean,
he's certainly done that.
To put some colour on that, this is his second quarter-final in 5 events. Very impressive start.
Yeah, in the first round of this event, he beat Phil Harrison.
And it was very impressive, one of the best performances we've seen in the competition. He was outrageously good that day. And a good start here. Wins the opening frame after a small tactical exchange. His first opportunity, and he made no mistakes.
I think at the last Pro Series weekend, I think did he get edged out by Melian and then Declan Brennan? So
yeah, Declan in the quarterfinals, and in the event before it was Chris Melling.
2 quality players there that had to fetch him out the event. So, you know.
You can see there's his bio. 32 years old now. But very, very talented player coming over from Ireland. Junior world champion back in 2010. Irish singles champion as recently as 2017. Also, huge prowess in the money match scene as well. Well, he hasn't played, I was asking him earlier, hasn't played one for a number of years now, but has played many in his career.
Karl, Donohue to break. Leading 1 frame to nil.
Very particular about how he wants the ball set up for his opening break. I don't blame him when you hit him as good as that.
Yeah, fighting to get into the pockets. Now, can he pot the red? Nice pot.
All there from now as well.
Slightly hampered queuing on the next ball, but shouldn't pose too much of a problem. But he'd kind of like to get back across. Okay, nicely played.
Has a small similar feel to the opening clearance he made, that the key is going to be transitioning from one end to the other.
Yeah, I mean, first glance, yeah, he's looking at that, but I think I'd play top right here and just run through a couple of balls and then play top left and stun 2 cushions down. Yeah, that's the safer way. Or if he leaves it straight and screws straight back, he prefers that option. That's fine as well. I think a few players there would have run through to play cushion, but that's fine. But that's safer than the first option he looked at, in my opinion.
And beautifully played.
Perfect. A big centre pocket for the 8 ball, you would think.
Lovely break clearance on the back of the clearance in the previous frame, and Karl will have known it coming into this match because he knows how good Karl is, but he now knows for certain that Karl's on it today, so he's going to have to play his game if he wants to compete.
Trailing 2 frames to nil.
Drive from Karl. So Karl with another opportunity, and it's quite inviting.
So, first glance here, does the red in the cluster of yellows as we look past bottom right, because then reds could be potentially the balls, but does he play yellow top left? Yeah, I like that.
Yellow balls in play.
Little nudge on the 8 ball doesn't hurt him at all.
No, I like that shot. And now it's just a case of minding his work, isn't it, really? Because you would think that there's not too much of a danger here.
Maybe a touch short on that one, unless they both go in the pocket, same bottom left. 2 together.
Yeah, well, he could come all the way across to the side rail, couldn't he? Yeah. I mean, it's one of those finishes where you haven't got to be overly cute with it, have you? You can actually get yourself into trouble if you try and be too cute.
Yeah, you can sort of pick it apart a few different ways. Multiple pockets for most of the balls.
Is he a hair short there?
Yeah, I would say so.
Has he got to play yellow in the same pocket even though he doesn't really want to? I know he could kill it. That's fine.
Looked like he just changed his mind on the shot there.
Yeah,
No
did the
problems.
right thing though, got back up.
Yeah.
I think was he going to push past it at first, or, you know, just checking his line.
Really is a very impressive start to
There
this
you
match
have
from
it.
Karl. He's been here for a few hours now, actually been just hanging around the venue, watching a bit of pool, watching a bit of snooker, and a bit of horse racing as well, I think, and
Oh, okay.
been patient, and now he's out there and he is up and running very nicely.
Well, he's hitting a good ball.
I mean, essentially that's 3 straight clearances, 3 straight chances he's taken out after a bit of tactical exchange in the opening frame, and just looks very, very sharp. We don't know really what sort of form Cole's in. We saw him have half a chance in that opening frame and didn't get very far before the tactical exchange. Other than that, he's been a spectator as we have.
Full frame. Karl Donohue is ready. Played in 3 frames to 0.
Once again, being very particular of where he wants that cue ball. First break was fantastic. Didn't seem to explode quite as nicely as the first one, but the result's still very, very good.
Very nice. You'd think he was going to play the red of some sort, wouldn't you? Cannon the 8.
Red balls in play.
Cannon could have gone wrong, but
Yeah, it was a
not too
shade.
bad.
It was a shade risky, wasn't it? Because he could have played top right first shot. So it was a hair risky, but I think he's got a cut bottom right. Wouldn't be 100% sure where the cue was going, or he's got a cut into the centre as well if he wishes. Yeah. Needs to slow up. Needs to pull up. Needs to pull up.
Mistake, first one.
Touching ball would be handy. Oh, you lucky devil.
Touching ball it
Touching
is.
ball, he can play the yellow onto the red into the middle.
That's That's huge. That really is
Yeah,
massive.
if he sees it.
Looks like he's going another way.
We're going to tie the yellow up with the 8 ball, is he?
So with it being touching ball, he's already effectively hit his ball, so he can
Clever shot.
play away, play
Clever
the red,
yeah.
play the 8 ball, play the yellow, whatever he wants.
Clever shot. He didn't like the yellow one. He didn't like the yellow onto the red plant into the centre.
It is a little bit lower the pocket.
It is a touch, yeah. It is a touch. Like the shot that he's played.
Well, it's slim pickings of your Cole Bedford. Barely had anything to look at, and
that was a little bit eggs in one basket, wasn't it?
put credit to him that he was playing it as a two-way shot. That he was trying to sort of get that cue ball by the red.
But he actually could have just pushed it up the table and left the cue ball on the side rail, and then Karl would have had a very nasty plant into the middle.
Yeah. But because Cole went past that red, he was just gifting another opportunity to Karl.
Yeah, there's a couple of options here, hasn't he? I mean, he could play the one. Yeah, that's a better choice, Karl. I think so. I think I'd play top right next. Might have landed on it good enough where he can draw straight back out, though, to where he is. And then you might as well play it now, yeah.
It's quite fascinating to see him sort of pick his routes and stuff, and hear you talk about it as well, because you can see him sort of walking around. You saw him pointing his cue to bottom right, and he's looking at options and sort of feeling his way through it. And
what Karl does well is he plays a lot of two-way positional shots well.
Yeah.
So, which gets unnoticed, you know, in terms of, well, if I land straight there, I can go that way. But if I don't, well, I've got that one that way. That's a hair careless, because he's left himself the wrong side, but only just. So you want it to be a fair bit short, if you know what I mean.
To make sure you're the wrong side, and therefore you use the right side cushion, and you're guaranteed.
It's sticky now, because you got to play. You got to play a lot of topspin.
It looks like he can just roll it in and play that
play
gap.
the gap.
Tight though when you look at the main camera.
He could play top left and run around 2 rails and just leave the 8 long.
Look at this angle. The cap looks massive, but it doesn't.
Yeah, he's played that shot.
Yeah.
Good shot, Karl. I liked it because you were playing into a load of space. Nice finish.
4-0. And this time he needed 2 chances, but that's really sort of hard match play, Paul, isn't it? He got a touch fortunate, of course, with the landing touching ball, but but he sort of didn't sort of take that fortune and chase one. He's played a really clever safety.
He played a good shot.
Yeah, and
he looks very focused and up for it as well, I must say.
Looks like he means business.
Yeah.
Taking it to Cole very early here.
But obviously having a break from the game and then seeing what's been happening with Ultimate Pool and coming over fresh and ready and wanting to, wanting to go, do you know what I mean? Wanting to kind of get amongst it.
Yeah. Also, I wonder how much there's an element for all you guys that were in it from the beginning of the journey. You didn't really know what Ultimate Pool was going to be. You've all had to embrace the match clock and the shot clock and everything else. And he knew what he was getting himself in for before he started. He knew that that was an element that to embrace, and was willing to come and do that. And he really has been a fantastic player to watch over the first 4-5 months of this season.
Yeah, I think that's a fair comment. I think that the guys that have been there from the start have paved the way to some form of blueprint for players. You would think, whether that be how do you tackle the 6 red, how do you tackle the clock, or how do you tackle the new change to the rule mindset? You know, that it's a bit more kind of out there than what your safety net of other forms that we've played before. So yeah, I mean, I think that's a really fair point.
Well, Cole Bedford needs to get something going here, and it starts with a ball, and he's not going to get one.
Yeah, it's a funny old game, isn't it? Funny old game.
He's 4-0 down, and he won't feel like he's involved in a match yet. I know he had a half chance in that opening frame, but Didn't get very deep into it, but other than that, speculative effort in the last frame, but
So
slim pickings.
Karl's just thinking, and I talked about this with the Jake match and John Rowe. You know, about those players that can kind of learn a little bit in terms of table management regarding the score, regarding the circumstances and whatever. And Karl's just having a little look here, thinking, do I go? Can I sit back? I'm 4-0 up. Do I have to go? You know, and all these different things. He's kind of just thinking,
What you're saying is that 4-0 up, don't chase a bad finish and allow
No.
your opponent into the game easily.
No.
If they do it off their own back,
Well, it's criminal, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's criminal. But you see it a lot, though.
You do?
Unfortunately, you do. I mean, Karl's decided that he feels like it is a genuine pop here of potting the ball, screwing directly into the red and popping the yellow up into play like that. But he's got hold of it too well.
He wanted that to be full ball on the red, so he'd stay on the yellow to bottom right.
And he kind of ripped through it a little bit, didn't he?
Just caught it almost three-quarter ball, and yeah, like you say, ripped
He
through.
played a nice shot, but he needed a little bit more finesse. But again, that's it. Just back to make him work for it, you know, do his bit.
Cole comes to the table now, just
all for
feeling
it,
horrible again. Just
Yeah.
like, really, give me something to go at here.
Yeah, I'm definitely all for it. Trying to pot the yellow here and slide in behind the other reds. Yeah, not a bad choice of shot.
Looks a pretty good outcome as well. Don't think the yellow at the bottom cuts back.
No, and Karl's got to be a little bit wary this time of just dropping onto this ball at the bottom, because the red goes in off the red in the middle and the two reds together goes into the opposite centre. So it's not easy to hide here. Just by bumping it, he has to leave some sort of shot, I feel. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? That's not amazing, is it?
No.
And I'm not saying he had a lot. I'm not saying that, but
I wondered whether just rolling up and sitting right on top of it and make it as hard as you possibly can.
Or even if he'd applied the shot, he played a little bit harder and chipped it to the other side of the pocket, so at least you block one of the reds.
Yeah. Well, Cole Bedford, this is your chance. This is for you to get into the match.
Oh.
Wow. He's okay. He's got the next ball, but how has that cue ball stayed on the table? He's asking, how did that ball go through the gap?
Yeah. Yeah, Karl ended up playing a little bit of something and nothing, really, didn't he? Well, he's looking like he's absolutely devastated. I mean, I won't be that disappointed. He has plenty of options.
The reason he doesn't like it is the red that he's nearest to. There you go. He wanted to open up, but he had the angle to do it.
I think there was a bit of carry on there.
The thing is, though,
what would we call it?
It's
not, I wouldn't say gamesmanship, but there was a little.
Well, Cole is one of the most expressive players you will see at the table. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and I don't believe it's ever gamesmanship. It's just exactly how he's feeling at that moment. Whether he should be feeling like that or not is another matter.
Well, he was looking like somebody had stole his wallet and then got down and played a ball into a big, massive pocket.
With a little nudge that was was a natural sort of, just a small screw back. So, yeah.
But, nevertheless, nice finish with his first real chance at the table.
Absolutely, and it doesn't matter how much they're there, you've still got to make them. And at 4-0 down, there's pressure on that, and he's done well. Still not happy. Really not happy, but he's on the board. Karl Donohue will have the next break. Races to 8 as well, 4-0, things can turn around, so only takes one dry break here and all of a sudden it could be 4-3, so it doesn't matter if you're 4-1 up, it's still very important to keep your foot down, keep driving forward.
Karl's actually breaking from the side, but hitting the front ball and making a ball into that centre pocket. Not the same ball, but he's made a ball in that middle pocket every break.
Yeah, it's a strange one because you're often looking at that second ball down where it didn't move. The yellow that went in flew around the table to go in. He won't care as long as it keeps going in. Can see the spider. Don't see that very often. One red right in the middle. Just needs a little bit of attention.
Yeah, I wonder if he's come just a hair too far there, has he? Or is he going to play the one to the top corner? Run through. Nice. Nice pot.
I always think these are the sorts of layouts that you can make to look really easy, but they don't take much for these ones to go wrong. Yellow's in between everything. 8-ball just a little bit away from the rest of the work.
Just got there, has he?
Looks like he's eyeing up leaving the red at the bottom of the table last ball. Doesn't look a good connection to the 8-ball.
No, I think maybe he's thinking he can kind of stun off the side rail and back across. Do you know what I mean? I don't. Yeah, it's like he may be able to get to the right side of it though.
I thought once he'd opened it up, he might come down and deal with this one and then
Well, he
he
doesn't really get anything for straight, does he? Yeah, he could get the other side of it.
Can he screw past the yellow? Through the yellow? That's very tight and very good.
Very nicely played.
Wasn't much room for that shot. That was brilliant.
Played it with a high right ball, didn't he? Nice finish.
Yeah, very, very good. 1 ball to work out. He's done it. And never looked in doubt, really. Back 4 frames in front. 3 frames away from the semi-finals for a match-up with Jimmy Croxton. If you're just joining us, our semi-final lineup, Jake Dillon, you love, has got Scott Gillespie for company at 7 o'clock. And the winner of this match will play Jimmy Croxton straight afterwards. And this was the very tight shot onto the 8-ball. Never going to be a mistake with this 8-ball. He's looked as good as anyone today. As Karl looks, you know, obviously came in, a lot of people thinking he was one of the big dangers to take down the title. One of the favourites, and if not the favourite, and playing like it. Cole's been working hard on the mental side of the game because he's openly admit that he has, at times, can lose the plot out there, but he's working very hard to try and stay focused. And as much as he does still show his emotion out there, tries to treat every chance in the same way. Made a ball. 1 ball to work out. Tricky ball to work out, though.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether. Yeah, does the yellow go underneath the red first shot? Yeah, I prefer the yellows because it's easier to play a yellow into the middle pocket off those balls.
Yeah, now the yellow's gone, Yellows
Yeah.
look lovely.
Yellowing off the yellow, and you're home and dry, aren't you? There we go.
Really nicely worked out by Cole.
That's a hair short.
And he knew it straight away. Tells us about it.
Yeah, that's a hair short. He might have to come back for the one into the centre here now. Unless he wants to risk playing it.
He's okay. He's not happy with himself, but he's okay. Good response. Expressive response as well. What do you think if you were in Cole's chair right now and you see Cole giving as much away as he is out there, is it something you can build on, or is it something that could annoy you as a player?
I think it depends how well you know the character. You know, if we all know each other that well on the circuit, don't we? So, you know,
Because it's quite a big difference between the two out there. Karl's giving nothing away and Cole's giving everything away. I just look at Cole and think he's being tortured out there. A lot going through his mind. That was a good break and a very good finish to go with it, and disgusted.
Lost his wallet. Let's see if this ball goes into the centre pocket. Tracking towards there again, but not this time. It was a different ball. Does the red? Ah, that's nice. The red just made it there, didn't he? Watch this red come all the way down the table, look, and he just makes it past the yellow. No, cut us off. But has he got the red to start?
Yellows aren't terrible, though.
They're not terrible. No, they're not. But like reds would be absolute dollars, wouldn't they, if he's got a starter?
He's got the red at the top of the table, but it's a little thin clip. It's whether he feels he can control the cue ball off it.
But that's kind of his one, just to get his little gap of the yellows for the other red, isn't it? But like you say, he might not have another shot. He's playing yellows. Nicely played. And like you say, they were never terrible either, was they? Let's be honest. But
Yeah, it was just about getting into this area, wasn't it?
But he played that nice, didn't he? As we know, sometimes we're fooled here because we didn't even know he could get at that ball from where we was. That's my excuse anyway.
Well, the right-hand one of the two, the one he's playing now, did go into the left centre. It was the next one that was the tricky one, and he felt he wasn't quite on it as he wanted to be. I think he'd much rather have played the other one.
He's got to play back and forth here, hasn't he? And try and get on it good. Just needs to stop. Perfect. Good shot. Now he's a couple of options here. Does he bring it all the way across, or does he find the gap between the 8 ball and the red and play the one next to the red ball bottom left? Choices. There's your answer. Don't disagree with that either. The reason I like this way is because kind of you don't really have to play a shot, do you? Like if he plays the other way, he does have to play the one down the row with a little bit of pace to get back out.
Yeah, and even though it's close to the pocket, it's one of those that can rattle and sit.
Yeah. Whereas this way, he doesn't have to play a shot, does he?
You saw him just pointing his cue to sort of basically pick a small gap between the reds for the 8-ball.
Yeah, and that's if he doesn't land straight. If he lands straight, he'll draw all the way back. So he's playing that two-way mindset shot again. If I'm straight, great. If not, can I still get out of here? You see, now he'll probably draw all the way back. He may just drop it in, depends on how, accessible it is. But I like the way he's thinking, because he's thinking a lot of two-way outs in each shot, which takes a lot of pressure off the positional shot that you're playing. He'll draw back this time. Just got there. He didn't hit it crisp, but he just got there.
One thing you did see him do is walk around and check his margin of error. Knew how far he had to get up to bare minimum, and he got there. And it's another break clearance for Karl, his third in the match.
Yeah, but for those at home there, like he's played so many positional shots here to give himself a two-way out, which puts a lot less emphasis on your positional play.
It's one of those that you just keep giving yourself options and areas.
It is. But in doing so, still actually playing a shot.
Yeah, got a preferred way of going, but have a backup way of going.
Yes, yeah. Whereas what you see some people doing is they play an option, but they don't play anything, and then make it up next time. Do you know what I mean? It's
do see a lot of that.
At least like what Karl's doing is he's playing a shot within a two-shot option, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's very, very impressive what he's doing out there. 4 off the break he's had, and first frame was a very good tactical exchange then, a nice clearance to go with it. So really high level pull. In fact, the other frame he won off his own break didn't have the first chance, got a little bit lucky with a touching ball, but played a great safety and then took it in second visit. So there's really no errors coming out, maybe half a positional error here and there, and that's it. For a player like Cole, who's now 4 behind again, it's really hard to sort of believe you can get back into the match when your opponent's playing as so solid as Karl is. Both players have just walked out of the arena, which is why we have a slight delay here. We saw John Rowe, former world champion, knocked out first thing this morning. Well, the last thing this morning, I should say. First match of the show. Jake Dillon-Newlove. Nice solid performance there. He's going to be taking on Scott Gillespie in the semi-finals. Scott played very, very well. Got a little bit dicey in the last 10 minutes at 15 seconds a shot, but he was very, very solid, very impressive. Former world champion, beating Arfan Dad. And then match of the day for me, Jimmy Croxton coming from behind to beat Tom Jones in a deciding frame in the dying minutes. 8 frames to 7. Absolutely incredible. And he'll be a very relieved man, because at one point he was a long way behind, looking like he was going to be knocked out. And he is awaiting the winner of this one, which right now, as we reach the halfway point on the match clock, looks like it's going Karl Donohue's way. Can Cole Bedford turn the momentum round? With the 8-ball, no, it stays on the table, but so does everything else. 3 dry breaks out of 5 for Cole. Continues to torture himself in his chair.
Extension code.
Don't want to be dropping your chalk at a shot clock era. Spend your shot clock trying to get the chalk back. Well, took his time to work that one out, and it looks like a bad miss, but he was trying to play the yellow off the red, because you got the yellow on the side cushion that needed a pocket, and that was his way of opening it up. But a miss to give Cole some hope. Reds aren't bad here. Does the red nearest the 8-ball go top left? Looks very, very tight. would suggest it doesn't. And you look at the overhead. It does now. Does the red in the middle of the table go? I think it goes bottom left. I'm not sure if it goes left centre.
He's having a good look.
I think it's tight.
He's a bit short. I wonder can he take the risk of knocking the 8-ball over the middle pocket and then leaving the red bottom right? Is it worth a punt?
Thing is, he could, if he goes past it and gets the wrong angle, he could take 8-ball long. So. Oh, he's gone past it.
Caught the yellow.
Yeah, that's no good.
I think he played to it, the 8-ball, didn't
Yeah, looked like it. Certainly the pace he played at. He didn't play the short position. He played a bump on something.
Extension call.
It's a foul. Yeah, it was a foul.
I think the referee is just going to take this one to VAR for a quick check of it. Gut feel in real time was the same as you, Mick. I think this is a foul.
Yeah.
Clearly a foul. So it'll be cue ball in hand for Karl Donohue. And a wide open table. If you're Karl, do you play a little bump on the 8-ball?
Well, we don't know how accessible it is, do we, on our screens?
Yeah, if there was a ball at the top of the table, I'd say you wouldn't mind, but it'd be moving the cue ball a long way to get onto it. Just a little half-ball clip. No, of course not. Keep it clean.
That means it flies in then.
Yeah. Doesn't look it, though. Well, that angle tells a story, though.
Ooh, just okay. Drop it in and play the red in. Is he coming back or is he playing the yellow in the centre? Ah, he's just coming back out.
A little bit short. This must fly in, otherwise it's awkward. Certainly got his attention. Wow, it's amazing. It's a gift for Karl Bedford. he has life in this match. Karl Bedford back within 3. Let's have another look at this 8-ball missed. Okay, he's a little bit short. He wants to get right behind it, but if it was that tight, he could have just flicked it out. First shot, didn't have anything to do. Suspect that's going through his mind right now. He does have the next break.
Frame. Karl Donohue's break. Ladies, 6 frames.
Still 2 frames away. 17:52 left on the clock. This feels a big frame after what we've just seen. In fact, it feels a massive frame after what we've just seen. Made a ball off every break so far. And that continues. Came across that one a little bit more, caught it more on the right-hand side as we look. Ball's still flying in. Good split as well.
Yeah,
He's opened up really nicely.
Very good split.
I was waiting for the dry break in the pool gods
this
chat.
is the little pool gods, isn't it? But they didn't want to play today. So, do you go yellows? Okay, he is going yellows. I think there was half an argument for there because he could have left the one on the breaking line sort of half ball and come off the cushion and bumped the bad one out. And it wasn't that difficult, really. I'm not saying you're supposed to do it, but it looked like a bad ball, but it wasn't really, was it? Certainly don't disagree with yellows, of course. Would you play on the single ball here to get back onto the first ball, or would you play for the plant here?
I think I'd rather play on the single ball. You play on the plant?
I think you probably wouldn't, but I think there's a preference for people that plant the ball so well.
I think it looks like the plant, the yellow, would just be inching away from the pocket, but the pace you're playing at, it wouldn't go far enough away to worry you.
Yeah. But you've got to be a little bit careful with this, haven't you? Because you get into it too much, you hit the red. Or you can be stuck like that.
Now it is a bit awkward, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was he?
He's having a look to see what window he can pick here, because you can't do much with a cue ball.
He'd love the natural to be able to play it so it was hitting 2 cushions and find the gap, but I don't think it is. No, it wasn't. Good shot. Very good shot, Karl.
Accepted what he had.
Yeah, he did well there, didn't he? Good solid pot.
It's a very good response to what happened in the previous frame. The missed 8-ball didn't let that affect him. Just straight back to work. Karl Donohue this time gets himself 1 frame away. 4th break clearance of the match. Won every frame off his own break. The only one that wasn't a break clearance, he won in 2 visits. Karl's going to have to win minimum next 4, probably next 5 with the time left in this match. And the form he's shown us so far, it's not that he's done a huge amount wrong, but also the form we've seen from Karl Donohue. I feel like it's a tall order here. You feel like it almost has to be, well, it will have to be flawless from here. He needs the next 4 chances. Change of break, not a surprise. Wanted that red to come out, and it stayed on the right-hand side.
Well, the first shot was a little bit odd, wasn't it? Not playing the one over the pocket and then the awkward red onto the one over the middle that he potted. And since then, it's, you know, now it's 4-ball plant, is it?
Well, if that red goes, it's worked out a dream for him. And it does go. Flip the yellow on the way through. Chance gone. Watch this, just a little feather on the yellow.
Yeah, if it was as tight as that, he may have been better just taking his medicine there, hadn't he, and just dropping it pocket weight. Yeah, good shot, Karl. Kill the red ball and then play the turnover. He's played, I think he's played really smart in this match. I think he's played some really smart shots.
Yeah, it's not just been about the finishes either, it's the all-round game. Days gone by, you miss that red that Cole did. Sits in the pocket, you walk over in the table and think, oh, it's not too bad, I've got a foothold in this frame.
Yeah, I'm going to win anyway.
That doesn't exist anymore. You get punished for missed pots now.
He could play cushion first here. Okay, he's having a dip, is he? He could just play cushion first and bring the yellow ball back in front of the cue ball and wait a bit longer. He's looking after me today, Karl. Karl, isn't he?
Yeah.
Good lad.
It's good to see. We see so much just ultra aggressive pull that waiting for the right time.
Yeah.
Seeing the whole round game is a huge part of it.
He's played a lot of clever shots. Now he could have a dip here. He could play bottom left, stun up the rail and play the plant top right and then go into them, or he could screw into them. Any contact on the red, you'd think he's good here. Oh, we got the yellow instead. He wanted to hit the red there and ping the yellow out. He's got the one over the hole though if he wants to screw directly back into it, or he's got the double. He's probably thinking this is it right here.
This will feel like match ball for him. And it flies in.
Very, very good performance. The best performance so far, in my view.
He has been very, very good in this match as Karl Donohue. Cole's expressed a lot out there. the actual on table, the mistakes haven't been huge, just a few subtle shots here and there, positional error or two, but he started this match 4-0 down essentially, didn't really get a chance until frame 5. Certainly not an inviting one there, half a chance in the opening frame. Always been chasing it and never looked like he was getting into the match. And Karl comes forward, says you don't even need to pot that final 8-ball. He's had enough. He has seen enough. Karl Donohue is our final man through to the semi-finals.